Hey guys, and welcome to another ProGuides video. At DreamHack Masters Dallas, we saw Team Liquid take the title over Ence. But it was another team that was on everyone's lips, Furia. The Brazilian powerhouse has been making waves in MDL with an impressive nuke streak. But just how good is their nuke game? Dallas was Furia's first chance to play top 10 teams on the map. So, let's see how the up-and-coming squad managed against some of CSGO's most famous teams. Furia faced Fnatic, Ence, Vitality, and Liquid with varying results. We're going to take a look at each of these matches, focusing on Furia's famously aggressive T side. We want to see how it stacked up against some of the legendary teams they faced. Did their scrappy and unconventional tactics topple the more experienced teams? Or is this event's performance a one-off, as teams adapt to Furia's playstyle? Let's find out. The first team Furia faced on Nuke was Fnatic. Now, Fnatic is not a great Nuke team. They only have 46% LAN win rate on the map, but usually put up a decent number of rounds. It's rare for Fnatic to get crushed on Nuke, but it's also not often that they win. This game was no different. Furia took the map 16-12, getting a huge 12 rounds on their T side. And for a CT-sided map like Nuke, something was either going very right for Furia or very wrong for Fnatic. Furia takes the pistol round. Get used to this, Furia's nuke pistol rounds are incredibly strong, thanks to the individual skill of each player. But this same skill is something that will be their downfall in a number of rounds to come. Round 2 sees a force buy come out from Fnatic, something that's not uncommon on Nuke. Furia starts the round by blowing Squeaky, then grenading and smoking Mini. They then spray through Hut and Squeaky, looking for some free damage. This is how Furia starts a lot of their T rounds, and it works. The utility forces CTs to pay attention to the area, in case of a push, and the spraying either causes damage or forces CTs out of position. Whether Furia go for an A push or not, the CTs are forced to respond. This frees Furia to get control elsewhere while the CTs focus on A, or it lets Furia catch the CTs retreating if Furia choose to push onto the site, all for the low cost of a couple of nades and a smoke. It's such good value. But our problem this round isn't A, it's ramp. Fnatic is on a force buy, so they're working with what they have. A scout and a CZ are brought up to create a crossfire on ramp. This is something you don't see a huge amount of in 4-buys, but in round 2 it's a definite possibility, and something Furia should be careful of. Able J jumps across trophy to peek for ramp info. He gets tagged by a scout shot, not a huge deal, he only has a Mach 10. But then Art does the exact same thing, and also gets tagged. There's absolutely no reason to endanger yourself like this, especially when Art has most of the utility. Furia has the benefit of affording grenades this round, but they're not using them. Instead, they're going for contact plays, confident they'll win the duel. The double scout hits tell Fnatic that Furia are low, prompting a decimating grenade to be thrown. This takes down Art as he's priming a flash. Not that it matters, because Able J and Vinny are already pushing out to try and win the duel. Basic teamwork is missing here. Use utility to open up a choke point and trade with a teammate. That's CS 101. Maybe this play works in MDL, but this is the big leagues. It all goes wrong and Furia are left in a 2v5, losing to 2 scout shots and a nade. In the next round, Furia go for the same ramp play. Only this time they just have pistols, and Fnatic give it up for almost free. This is a huge blunder from Fnatic. They give up so much control of a key area without anyone nearby to support. This distraction has also allowed Yuri to push all the way through Yard, with no one from Fnatic there to stop him. The round slows down, Fnatic is isolated, and have no information about Furia. So Fnatic choose to fan out, willing to sacrifice a player for information. But Yuri's monster flank means Furia is free to go for an A assault from both Hell and Hut. Not expecting the flank, Fnatic loses 2 players in the attack. Fnatic's 4v2 just became a 2v2. With no utility left on Fnatic, it's an easy mop up for Furia. Their aggression paid off, but it was also the weakness of Fnatic's ramp and yard control that truly won them the round. Furia preys on these weaknesses once again in round 6. They go for another ramp play, and Fnatic give it up without a fight once again. Even with 2 players here to defend, Fnatic fall back without trading blows. While this does keep all Fnatic alive, it also gives Furia free reign of the map. Fnatic opt to go for a strong B defense, stacking players below. But thanks to letting Furia take ramp without fight, Furia still have all of their utility. They're able to smother B in a blanket of smoke and force Fnatic even further back. With plenty of time to get the bomb down, Fnatic are in for a 5v5 retake, a very rare sight. Strong post-plant positions for Furia, the bomb is counting down. The odds are not in Fnatic's favour. Despite some trades, they lose the retake and the round. Fnatic was not prepared to counter these aggressive pushes from Furia. This was a Fnatic taken by surprise and unable to adapt. After Fnatic, Furia faced a far more formidable foe in Ence. Ence is a team that shares a similar story to Furia, slowly working their way up the rankings over the last 12 months. Unlike Fnatic though, Ence has a 91% win rate on Nuke against top teams. Ence were the ones who chose to play Nuke, and we can see why. The game ended in a convincing 16-9 for the Finnish lineup. But how did they do it? Furia once again win the pistol round. A testament to their skill. That they keep doing this is incredibly important to their success with Nuke. It essentially puts them 4 rounds up every single game. In round 18, we can see that Ence has done their homework, and they're prepared for Furia's aggression. Furia blows and smokes Squeaky, so Art can make an early push to vent. But Alexi B spams through the smoke to get a free kill, anticipating this play. With no teammate to support him, Art has no escape plan. Furia relies on their raw skill over at Yard. Yuri and Able J begin dry peeking each angle from T-Red. That they do this with no utility, and as a duo, almost glued together, shows the confidence they have in their aiming talent. If one doesn't get the kill, the other is sure to, but this talent leads to overconfidence just moments later. After taking initial contact with Alu down secret, Yuri prepares to toss a flash, while Able J moves ahead alone, pushing in for the kill. This lack of synergy gets Able J killed and puts Ence a man up. Forced to retreat, Yuri is caught alone and out of position on Yard. It's 4v2 and an easy round for Ence. But even a team like Ence can be caught off by the Furia aggression. In round 22, we see a half buy come out of Furia. The squeaky play happens again, and Art makes a push with the Mac 10. Alexi B is anticipating a bigger push, and sprays through the smoke for too long. The reload sound gives him away, and Art moves him for the kill. The individual talent of Furia shines once more, as Vinny takes out Sergey with a swift Eagle 1-tap. Aerial returns a frag, but is quickly traded, and it's a swift 4v2 for Furia. So, while the Furia playstyle can work against even an expert Nuke team like Ence, the problem is that it just isn't consistent enough. This round is the only one Furia win against an Ence full buy on their T side. Once aggression is expected from a team, it can be punished. After losing to Ence, Furia set their sights on Vitality. Although a relatively new lineup, Vitality have a decent Nuke record. A 67% win rate is a great deal more impressive than Fnatic's 46%. So we should expect a closer game, right? It's a blowout, ending in a 16-8 victory for Furia. Most of the heavy lifting came from their 12-3 CT side. Not totally unusual for Nuke, but still a fantastic start. However, we're interested in Furia's T side. So let's take a close look at a couple of key rounds. Winning yet another Nuke pistol round put Furia up to 14 rounds on their T side. But, in round 18, we also see the beginnings of a comeback for Vitality. So what was going wrong with Furia's T side? The round begins with Furia blowing Squeaky once again, but this time, Art pushes through a smoke to get aggressive on A. Vitality's Molotov stops Vinny from pushing through the hut to help. Art is left alone on A against Apex, who riddles him with bullets. It's a good start, but Apex isn't expecting Vinny to have pushed aggressively to Hut's door, and gets caught in the off angle. Luckily, Alex is there to return the kill. So here we have Vitality with some expectation of aggression, but still underestimating how aggressive Furia will be. Luckily, their drilled team play mechanics can make up for these lapses. Furia begins the next round in a way you'll recognise. They blow squeaky, smoke mini, and spray. This does its job once again, as Vitality are forced to focus on A. Yuri gets a free pass to head through yard uncontested. He catches Apex focusing on A and takes him down. Furia then go for an A push, but lose the trade war. Suddenly, it's a 2v2 with Furia on low HP. Here we see another example of the individual skill taking priority over teamwork. The last two Furia players separate. Yuri breaks a window on B, while Art pushes through a smoke on A. It's a clever distraction, but it's still a bad plan to push through a smoke onto a bomb site. He's quickly taken down by a waiting RPK. If Furia had instead moved together, they could rely on that individual skill to win a trade duel and take the round to a 1v1. Furia still took the match, and a win is a win. But Furia only beat 2 of Vitality's buy rounds, the same number that Vitality won on their T side. Vitality's 5-round win streak on their CT shows us that this aggressive style from Furia is not without weaknesses. The last team that Furia faced on Nuke was Liquid, another good Nuke team with a 67% win rate, but by no means perfect. To no one's surprise, Furia win the pistol and go up 2-0. The aggression works at first for Furia, but in round 6, we see the adaptation come out from Liquid. Furia starts with their squeaky play, but Liquid preempts. First, a Molotov, then a grenade. 2 quick kills with the combined damage. The Molotov stops any further pushes through squeaky, but Liquid isn't done. A second Molotov goes down. An aggressive push to Hut catches Nitro unaware. A third Molotov from Liquid. They're not taking any chances. And finally, a smoke to support a flank from Elige and Stewie. It might seem a touch excessive, but by doing this, Liquid can disrupt Furia's game plan. In round 11 we, once more, see the dangers of relying on individual skill to win a round. Art has pushed through Squeaky, and is hiding beside Vent. Naf gets an AWP kill on Hut with some aggressive positioning. Art moves out of his cover to return the kill, and Furia makes their push. They barely use any utility to get onto site, once more trusting their aim. The trades do go in their favour, but they fall victim to their own playstyle as Elige clutches a 1v4. And just like Elige won't win this fight every time, Furia's reliance on aim over teamwork is too inconsistent to depend on against those top level teams. Furia only won 2 full buy rounds on their T side against Liquid. Teams have already begun to adapt against Furia's aggression, so if Furia want to survive in top tier CS, they too must adapt. This match was the end of Furia's run in Dallas, but they achieved so much along the way. Based on what we've seen from Furia, they're an absolutely terrifying prospect. Mechanically, they can go toe to toe with the world's best. They've built an aggressive playstyle that takes advantage of this, and it's already taken down some legendary names. But now they've gotten themselves on the radar of top tier Counter-Strike, only time will tell if they have what it takes to keep climbing the ranks. With this experience, Furia have an opportunity to learn and evolve. They've only just begun to attend top level events, and we know they aren't finished yet. If they continue to grow, we'll see them as a tournament favourite before the end of 2019.